All right, everyone, welcome. This is Tasha. It's 7 o'clock, so let's get started. Welcome to Forex Basics. So what you're looking at on the screen now is the new Tradera updated, new and improved website. We're back to our original URL, tradera.org. I know there are still some outstanding issues with support. I won't be able to address those, but I did just want to spend just a couple of minutes going over some of the basics in the back office to let you know some of the improvements that have been made. So once you log in and sign into the back office, most of what you'll need will be under the client area. So right now I've selected Trade Academy. And so this is the back office education. So if I scroll up over to the left, it's a lot easier now to manage. So there's an overview, assets. Asset is just another word for a Forex pair or an indice or a stock that you're trading. You want to start with terminology, the basics, trading analysis, support and resistance, trend identification, all very key foundational concepts that you'll need to understand. So just know that with all the live classes that we have going on, nothing will teach you better than some of these classes. Market structure is probably one of my favorite. I've never heard it explained so well in my years of Forex. So, and it's actually sort of divided up from where you need to start and how you would progress to intermediate and advanced concepts. So make sure that you guys are diving into your back office. Yeah, by clicking on these sections and going through the videos, it's going to make everything in the live classes make that much more sense to you. All right, so let me scroll back up. Also under client, you will see a tab for trade alerts. So these are the company signals that Tradera sends out. And okay, it says all trade alerts are currently sent out via the Telegram channel. So they've made an update since the last time that I was here. But if you're wondering how to join the Telegram channel so that you can get all of the Tradera signals sent to your phone or computer, depending on where you have the Telegram app installed, what you would do is highlight this Telegram link, open up a new browser, paste it there, and that's how you can connect. You could also do that on your phone as well. Okay. So trade economy, that's a new section. Basically, it's going to be a listing of a whole bunch of world news and events and how it relates to a country's currency. Okay, so the Japanese yen, you can read about how their sentiment plunges and how that would affect anything that you would trade with a JPY pair. So if you're into that. And then the last thing that we'll cover before we get started is the live trade sessions. So Tradera has one master trader, and that is Derek Conway. Derek is amazing. He's a 6 to 7 figure trader as well as trainer, and he holds his live classes Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we're actually going to wrap this class up, and most of us hop on over to his sessions. I know I'm there every chance that I get. So you would basically click on this join live session to click to access his Zoom meetings. And I'm scrolling down and you can see some of the live sessions that they have recorded. Okay, so all of them are typically recorded, but I think with the move to the new website, they're running a little bit behind. All right, so that's what I wanted to highlight in our back office once you've logged in. So under client, you have the Trade Academy, all the classes, the trade alerts, as well as the trade sessions. So now let's talk about a little bit about why we do this class and how it will flow for the next hour or so. So, learning Forex can be a challenge. It can seem like a second language or a foreign language. So we created the Forex Basics class to help get you started, to introduce some concepts so that when you're in the Trade Academy or when you're in the trade sessions, you would have at least heard a lot of the concepts before. So we want to just kind of whet your appetite and get you ready for everything that Tradera has to offer. Specifically, in every class, we go over how to set up your demo account, how to take the Tradera trade alert. So that's what we do for every session. And before we get to that, I normally like to take about 10 minutes and go over something new and or important. Then we'll cover the demo information for anyone that needs that. And then we'll spend the last half hour in Q&A, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. So with that, let me share my screen and we'll go over something new for this evening. Before I forget, in the chat for our Zoom, take a look and let me see if there's some questions there. I have posted my YouTube channel, and that's where you will find all the recordings for all the Tuesday and Thursday classes. And I also try to upload lots of 2 to 3 minute shorter videos so that you don't have to watch the whole class again. So take a look in the chat for that YouTube link, and I will paste it again in case you joined after I posted it. All right, there it is. All right, so we had a request last week to go over how to take partial profits. That's something that I think is covered a lot in the live classes. So we'll take a few minutes and go over that. Okay. So how to take partial profits or even a partial loss. So let's go through an example with the Android, and then we'll go over an example with the iPhone. So we'll do the Droid first. Let's say that I'm in a buy for Bitcoin. Notice that my lot size is 0.02. And let me use the arrow so that you can see that. So here, MT4 is telling me that I'm already in this trade. BTC USD is a crypto pair. And when I got into the trade, I chose my lot size of 0.02. And I'm at the moment, if this were a real trade, I would be negative $5.35. So let's say that you want to close a percentage of this trade. So I'm going to hold that button down, hold down that trade, and this menu will appear. So I can modify it, I can do a new order, or I can close it. So this also covers how to close a trade manually as well. So you have the option to let it run until it hits TP or let it run until it hits your stop loss. Or what we're doing now is how to manipulate that manually. So I'm going to click the close button. And let's say, I've lost confidence in this trade. I'm losing it, and I'm just not sure that I want to continue the full trade with a 0.02 lot size. So what I'm going to do is adjust this lot size here at the top, and I'm going to close part of the trade. So on this next screen, I'm going to modify that lot size from a 0.02 down to a 0.01. So now when I close with a loss, I'm only going to take a loss for half of it, and 0.01 of that trade is still going to be running. So I click close with loss, and now what's showing? I can see that my BTC trade now has a 0.01 lot size because I closed the other half of it. So this works with profit as well as loss. You can take a partial loss and leave the trade running, or a better scenario is you're in profit and you want to secure some of your profit, but you're not ready to give up on the trade. You want to leave some of it running in case it goes more in your direction. So let's do the same thing for the iPhone. So again, I'm in a Bitcoin trade and I started with a 0.03 lot size. And so I'm negative, and again, maybe I'm just not feeling all that confident. I want to close most of it, but there's still a chance it can go in my direction. I don't want to just completely close out the trade altogether. So I'm going to hold down this trade. Here's my pop-up menu. I'm going to click on close. And here, instead of my 0.03, I'm going to make that be a 0.02. And when I do that, now I will close with the loss of negative 378. And when I click on that close with loss, now I still have the trade running, but only at 0.01. All right, so this works with profit and it works with loss, but the goal is you can close a percentage of your trade. And if you're winning, you can secure your profits and keep going. And if you're losing, you can not take the full brunt of the loss and then keep a part of it open in case it goes in your favor. All right, so that covers how to not only close a trade manually, but how to secure partial profits or take a partial loss. All right, now for the next few minutes, go to the chat for me, and I want to see how many people need help setting up the demo accounts. So place a 5 in the chat if you need assistance setting up your demo account and or knowing how to enter the trade values. Can you place a 5 in the chat for me? Okay, I see 1. Great, I see a few more. Okay, we're at about 50 here in the class, so I wanna know what percentage. Yeah, that's what I figured. We're normally in double digits. And the same will be tonight. Okay, so yeah, we will definitely cover that, and then we'll go into our Q&A. So on the YouTube site, there's a getting started playlist, and it has a list of the following videos for all of our beginners. I'm going to go over 3 of the 4 slides tonight. So setting up your demo account, I'm going to type this into the chat. That's the first video that you want to watch. And then connecting MT4 to your demo, we'll go over those 2 for sure. So then the third one is understanding the trade alert. I won't cover that one, but I'll go over the parameters in this last one, taking the trade alert. So those 4 videos are definitely where you want to start. And let's go through the steps for setting up the demo account. So 1 second, and I will share that. So your demo account is very important. People always ask, well, how long do I stay in my demo account? And that's up to you and your comfort level. You definitely want to stay in your demo account long enough to make mistakes, to enter the wrong lot size, to you want to make sure you can enter your stop loss and take profit without thinking about it. You want to make as many mistakes as you can in your demo account because it's just play money. It's just fake money. It doesn't impact, your hard-earned money. So for setting up your demo account, now when it's time for your live account, you're going to need to choose a broker. So we don't take trades on our own. We have to partner with brokers, and Tradera won't tell you which one to use. This is just a list of brokers that the traders have vetted. Most of us are using one or more of these brokers. And for this class, I chose Hugo's Way. So I'm doing tons of screenshots to take the guesswork out of it for you. So if you choose to use a demo account with Hugo's Way, and by the way, Osprey FX and Hugo's Way have literally the exact same screens. So all of these screenshots apply to Osprey as well. So here's the URL I want you to go to. If you go to hugosway.com, you'll more than likely end up setting up a real account by mistake. It's not very clear how to go the demo path. So just go to this URL, hugosway.com/demo-sign-up. Fill out these fields, your name, email address. For leverage, you can use 500, which is actually a good leverage for your live account as well. And for the starting balance, this is why I like the broker demo accounts as opposed to the MT4 standard demo account that you can do. With this one, you can choose your starting balance. And I think the smallest one is 1,000, which is what we'll do for this class. With the standard ones that you get with MT4, they start you out with $100,000, and it's just not realistic. You can definitely use that one to understand how to take the trade and get all the practice that you want. But I find students are more comfortable with the smaller amount of money. When it's time for your live account, you may open it with anything from $50 to $200. So having this $1,000 ones is just a little bit more realistic. Okay, so when you hit submit, Hugo's Way will send you this confirmation email. Make sure you keep it because you will need this demo account number and this trader password. That's going to be your login and password for MT4. MT4 stands for MetaTrader 4, and that's where we actually take the trades. And so for Charlotte in the chat, I actually have a video on my YouTube site, how to open a live account with Hugo's Way. So I think that'll walk you through the steps that you need. So MT4, you can download it on your desktop. We recommend starting off with downloading it on your phone. It's a lot easier to manipulate. The setup on your computer is a little bit more advanced, and there's a lot of information being thrown at you already. So we recommend just start off, check this email on your phone, and then you can click that download and already have MT4 downloaded on your phone. Okay, so by the time you've done this, you have created your demo account and downloaded MT4 on your phone. Let me share the next step with you. Now we are going to connect the two. So I'll go through the steps for the Android and the iPhone. We're going to open up MT4 and connect to that Hugo's Way demo account that we just created. All right, so let's start with the iPhone. So when you open up MT4, you're going to go to the bottom right and click on that settings icon. Then you're going to click on new account. And we are going to choose this second option. Now, if you want to just bypass the broker altogether, you can do that for your demo account. You have to go through them for your live account, but you can just open up this demo account here. The only, negative is that you'll have $100,000. And so I think it just kind of clouds the picture. It's not very realistic. And for the question in the chat, your MT4 password, go back to your email and hopefully you didn't delete it when they sent it to you. I use Gmail and I just archive all my old emails. So yeah, if you can just search for Hugo's Way, then you should be able to pull up that email and get that password. If not, tech support can help you. You can email support@hugosway.com, and then I think they can reset it for you that way. All right, so we're going to select this second option, log into an existing account. And we're gonna click on that one, and we need a server. So type in Hugo's Way, and we're gonna select Demo 3. Now for your live account, you would choose either Real 3, and they also have a new server now, Hugo's Way Live. Okay. So now you're at the login page. Here's where that email comes in handy. So for login, you'll type in the demo account number. For password, you'll type in trader password. You don't want to use the investor password, then the trade buttons won't be active for you. That's more of a read-only access. And also make sure this save password is on so you don't have to type that in anymore. All right, click sign in. For the droid, and remember all these videos are on my website if I'm going too fast. So in the upper left corner, click on those 3 horizontal lines called the hamburger icon. Then you'll click on Manage Accounts. Then this white cross icon in the upper right. So just like with the iPhone, log into an existing account. Type in Hugo's Way, select Demo 3. And pull up that email, type in your demo account number, your password, your trader password, and make sure that checkbox is checked. All right, and so for the last slide, we'll go through the steps of actually taking the Tradera Trade Alert. Okay. So let's start with the iPhone. So for this example, we like to use CAD JPY. We're going to take a trade with the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. So open up your MT4. If you don't see the Forex pair that you're looking for in this list, click on the plus icon and then select FX crosses. It may also say FX group or Forex, depending on your phone version. So here's CAD JPY, it's the 4th one down. Click on that green circle, press done. And now CAD JPY will be at the bottom of your list. So what you want to do is hold it down. And when you hold it down, you'll get this pop-up menu. So click on chart if you want to take a look and do some analysis there. It's kind of small on your phone, but you can use MT4 to do that. But to actually take the trade, click on trade, and here is the screen that we want to spend some time on. So on the far right, here is what the Tradera Trade Alert looks like. And let's talk about these parameters. So notice this is a buy trade. So that means we're expecting price to go up. Now, what if the trade doesn't go our way and price begins to fall? Well, the stop loss is the price where MT4 will take us out of the trade with that loss, okay? Very important to have your stop loss set because it protects your account. You know how much you're going to risk before you even enter the trade. So that's the stop loss price. Now, on the flip side, if the trade is going our way, our take profit price is where we stop, and MT4 also takes us out of the trade, but this time with a win. So Tradera will give you a choice of 3, take 1, take profit 1, or TP, TP2, and TP3. You'll have to choose one. So generally, take profit 1 is 15 to 20 to 25 pips. Take profit 2 is normally in the 50 to 60 pip range, and normally take profit 3 is, at least 100 pips or more. So the higher the take profit, the more pips, normally the higher the risk. A lot of us like to pip and dip. So that expression means make faster money with a lower risk, take your 20 pips profit, and then exit the trade. So you may feel safer going for TP1. TP2 is kind of in the middle. You got to have a little bit of patience as price works its way there. And then take profit 3, you may have to wait a full day before price gets to take profit 3 if it gets there. Okay, so on the screen, here's where you enter your stop loss. You literally just put your finger there and modify the number and choose the take profit that you want. And Ria is asking, can you do all 3 take profits together? Well, you have a couple of options there. You can do 3 separate trades, and for each trade, you do a different take profit. So the first trade will run to TP1 and it will exit, and then you'll have 2 more trades running. And if you make it to TP2, that trade will close. And if you make it to TP3, eventually that trade will close. So yeah, that's one way that you can do it. So what we talked about today, so when you set your take profit here, you can always change it. So let's say you choose take profit 1. You're going to take the more conservative route. And so you enter in 76.728. And then you're watching the trade and you see that you have a really good feeling about it and you think, okay, price is at 76.5. You change your mind and you say, I think I want to go for TP2. Then what you would do is modify this trade, and right in the middle of it, you can change from TP1 to TP2. So if you feel that the trade is going strong, you're looking at your candlesticks and you're seeing some patterns that show it's not going to stop anytime soon, yeah, feel free to modify it and now go to TP2. Now, that's why taking partial profits is so important, because let's say it makes it to TP2 and you're feeling really good, but you want to secure some of your profit because while the trade is running, anything can happen, right? So let's say you were at a 0.02 and you're $50 in profit. You do the beginning steps that we did when class first started. You close the trade, you close 0.01, you have secured $25 worth of profit. Now you don't feel so bad about leaving that trade open because you've secured some of the profit and you're well on your way. So stop loss, you've entered, take profit, you've entered. Those will be here on the Tradera Trade Alert. The other thing that we need to talk about is the lot size. So that's this number right underneath the market execution. Now the lot size is not going to be on the trade alert. That depends on your account. The industry standard is use a lot size 0.01 for every $100 in your account. So in a live account, a $200 account, you would put 0.02 for your lot size. For a $500 account, 0.05. So with these demo accounts, you can do 0.10 for your trade. Okay, so 4 things you have to enter here: lot size, stop loss, take profit. The last thing is to actually press the buy button. Now you're in the trade. So let's go over the same thing for the Android. So you open up MT4, you don't see CAD JPY, you click on the plus icon here in the upper right. Notice it says FX group. We're not doing crypto pairs with the trade alerts, nor are we doing indices. Those assets are not beginner friendly. And then you select CAD JPY and hold it down. When you do that, notice for the Android, it says new order. Okay, instead of trade. So here is what the screen looks like for the Android. The lot size part looks exactly like the iPhone, but notice there is no stop loss label or take profit label. So you'll just have to know that the stop loss is let me move the arrow, this number here to the left, the black number to the left, and then the black number to the right. This is your take profit. Okay, so lot size, stop loss, take profit. The last thing is to hit buy, and you are in the trade. There's a good point being made in the chat. So when we talk about lot sizes, so if you have a $200 account and you do 0.02, if you are attempting to do 3 separate trade entries, one for TP1, one for TP2, and one for TP3, if you use a 0.02 for each trade, then you are technically using a 0.06, which could be too much for your account. So that's an excellent point. You want to be mindful of that when you're running multiple trades at once. You have to add them all up to make sure that you're not over leveraging for your account. All right, so it's right at 7:31. Please unmute yourself and I'll try to answer any questions that you have. You can also type it in the chat.
Hey, Tasha, how you doing? This is Eric.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I got a couple of questions right quick.
Sure.
On the trade alerts that we're getting from Chidera, we're not getting that many. So how are we supposed to learn how to do it if we only getting 2 or 3 a day? Is it somewhere else we can get trade alerts?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's pretty random how often the trades are sent out. It's definitely dictated upon, you know, how the market is doing and what setups are seen from that corporate area that's calling the trades. Now, so in terms of other trades, besides the Tradera master trader, Derek Conway, the Lit Trade House has Coach Max and Ryan DeFreitas, and they typically do sessions about 8 a.m. through the Lit Trade House. You can join that Facebook group. And they also do a night session for Asian around 9 o'clock, as well as sometimes there's a London session, which is about 2 a.m. Eastern. So on those live sessions, a lot of times they are calling out additional trades as well.
Okay, and one more question. So I'm looking at Derek's, and I'm trying to understand, when do you know, I still don't quite know, when is he saying buy and when is he saying sell, and to where do we do it at? So is that just something I learn as I keep watching, or what?
Yeah, that's a great question. And with his markups, one second. Oh, I think someone else is sharing their screen. One second. Okay, so yeah, with Derek's markups, and yeah, definitely keep going to class and ask that same question in the chat. But he's teaching us how to trade from zone to zone. So his markups are preparing you based on the direction that price will go. And so rather than predict that, you know, what you do is wait until price gets to a zone and then you look at price action. Price action is just a fancy word for what are the candlesticks telling you at the time. And normally we're looking for, you know, a break and retest to take a buy to the very next zone. So he started adding, you know, TPs at each zone. So you'll know how to set your TP. So does that make sense?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I guess I just got to watch it a little more. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. As well as you're looking for a rejection to take a sell. But yeah, definitely keep plugging in and ask him that question, and he definitely drops the nuggets in there. And so Derek's classes, to answer the question in the chat, are Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and at the beginning of class, we logged into the Tradera back office, clicked on client, and then trade sessions. And that's where you'll find the link for his classes. All right, who's next? Yep, Derek is amazing, for sure. Are there any other questions? You can type them in the chat or just unmute yourself.
Tasha.
Yes.
When you put a trade in, and you get that sound.
Uh-oh, did I lose you? I think we lost the gentleman that was asking a question.
Did you hear what I said? When you get that sound, did you miss the market, or the market is closed from that section of the world or something? Or what is that?
You'll have to say it again. I lost you for half the question. Tell it to me one more time.
When you put a trade in, and you hit buy or sell, whatever, and then you get the sound of, like it's closed or something. Is that what that is?
What time of the day did you get that? Was it on a Friday? The market closes close to 5 on Fridays.
No, it was during the day.
Is it an error that comes with it or just a sound?
Just the sound. Oh, so it could be an error also?
Yeah, and the most common one is invalid stop loss take profit. So let me pull up trading views so I can show you what I mean. Give me 1 second. Let me find a Forex pair.
Tasha, is that the sound like an explosion, he asked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let me give TradingView a chance to catch up. Okay, so we're looking at your CAD. This is TradingView. I do have a video how to get set up on TradingView. You can select a free account. So let's say that I'm entering a sell trade. So this arrow is going to dictate where I enter. And then if it's a sell, my TP needs to be below and my stop loss needs to be above my entry. So I'm going to have an entry somewhere around here. My stop loss is higher and my take profit is lower. If you get that error that's saying invalid stop loss or invalid TP, it could mean that your take profit is not lower than your entry and your stop loss is not higher. So that's one way that you can get an error. And for a buy, it's going to be the opposite. So maybe my, I knew that was going to happen. For a buy,
Tasha, if I may.
Yes, maybe my entry is here. For a buy, my take profit is going to be higher. And then my take profit, my stop loss is going to be below. So you just have to make sure for a sell or a buy that your prices are in the right order. Okay, yes, who is that who wanted to jump in?
Tash,
Yes.
following on the same question, he asked about the sound. He wanted to identify what the sound means. I believe from my experience that I've I've heard the sound both for invalid transaction as well as when the sale is the trade is complete. Once the trade has locked you in, you get that sound as well, like an explosion.
Yeah, it really depends on if you're on a desktop, if you're on your phone, and what your settings are set to.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So for the person who answered, is if the trade is not running after you hear that sound, then yeah, it was an error. But if you see the trade running, then yeah, it's just a notification that you took the trade. And so I see a question from Roxanne. I noticed the risk to reward for the alerts on TP1 are always lower than 1-to-1. Even looking at the entry price that was showing immediately at the time of the alert. Are we supposed to wait for a pullback before entering, even on the alerts? So, Roxanne, the way the trade alerts are designed, depending on if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, there's different answers for how you enter. Some students just want to take the trade alerts. They just want to copy paste and make money that way. So for that student, go ahead and take the trade alert as soon as you get it. For those who want to pull up the pair on TradingView and do some analysis, we've been talking about identifying M's and W's and head and shoulders and inverted hammers. For those students who are looking to actually understand the analysis and add to it, then yeah, you can definitely refine your entry, which may mean waiting. So there's no real simple way to answer that. I think the more advanced you get, the more you'll be able to find that proper entry. Entry is everything with trading. So Derek's class will definitely help you to get the best entry possible, even for the trade alerts. Okay, so Elena has a question. Do you have to be an MT4 to see those 3 bars when using an Android? And what is TP and stop loss? Sure, I'm gonna type it into the chat. TP equals take profit, and SL equals stop loss. So understanding the Tradera trade alert, that's a video on my YouTube site. It will go over all those parameters and details. So that would be a good place for you to start, Elena, as you set up your demo account. I'm still looking in the chat. Is there another question while I read these? Okay, more about the sounds for the trade alert.
Hey, Tosh, I got a question again.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
You know, earlier you was talking about if you're in the market and you see you've made profit and you want to secure it. Could you go over that once again, one more time, or do you have a video on that?
I do. So, well, I created the slide today, so I have not created the short 2 to 3 minute video, but I will do that this week. But yeah, let me pull it back up again. And then I want to answer Monica's question about where do we get the stop loss for Derek's entry. He purposely is not identifying the stop loss. He feels it's dependent upon your account size. Some larger accounts can handle a bigger stop loss. Smaller accounts need a smaller stop loss. So he can definitely help you with the entry for that. Can the lot size increase as well or decrease when you split a trade? Let me pull that slide up again. Okay, so let's say in this example, and both of these examples were losses because I was in a demo account. So if I started this trade, it's a 0.02. And I'm negative $5. Let's say I only want half the trade to keep going. I've lost confidence in it. I I'm just not sure it's going to go in my direction, but I don't want to close the whole thing straight away. So I would hold it down, click on close order, and now I can modify that lot size. So it says 0.02, right? So what I can do, going to the next one, is I can drop it to 0.01. Now, partial profits and partial loss only works if your lot size is higher than 0.01. So if you're in your live account with $100 or $50 and you start your trade at 0.01, you're kind of stuck there. You're either going to have to close it or just let it hit TP or stop loss. So with this one, let's say I change it to 0.01. So notice now I'm only going to lose half of what I was negative, and then I'm still left with the remaining trade. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Carl here again. Good evening again.
Hello.
I think I'm just about ready to go to my live account now. How long do you think the process takes? If I'm going through Hugo's way, about how long do you think the process takes?
Well, I have a video. It's called How to Open a Live Account with Hugo's Way. And I think it'll help you with that. Where are you located in the world?
I'm in Jamaica.
You're in Jamaica. Do you have access to Cash App? I know it doesn't function everywhere.
Cash App?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
Okay, so on my video, that's like the easiest way to actually fund your account is using Cash App and Bitcoin. However, if you don't have access to Cash App, the other less painful way is Instacoin through Hugo's Way. So let me just speak about it for a minute. I don't want y'all to be nervous because you're dealing with Bitcoin. When you deposit the money into your account, it will show in your back office as dollars. For some reason, it's just easier to do the transfer in the cryptocurrency language, but your back office will show dollars. You will trade in dollars. It's not as complicated as it sounds. So in Hugo's Way, you can fund your account through Instacoin, and say you wanted to do $50, you would buy that in Bitcoin, it would transfer it into your account. If you don't want to go that route, you can also use VLoad. V is in Victor. Let me type it into the chat. So Hugo's Way does accept VLoad. It's a bit painful. It's easy to use, but the verification process is a bit painful. You have to upload your driver's license, and it can't be cropped. It has to be the full 4 corners, and you have to upload your debit or credit card, and they accept Visa and not Discover, and that can take up to a week of just getting them to approve the paperwork. But the way you actually use it is pretty simple. Once you're gone through the verification steps, then you purchase, let's say you wanted to start your account with $100, you would purchase, and I'm sorry, I put that to, that was a private message, everyone, vload.com. Yeah, so once you get through the verification, let's say you wanted to load your account with $100, you would buy the $100 on VLoad. They will email you a PIN. And in your Hugo's Way back office, once you select VLoad, you input your PIN and the money magically appears. So VLoad is very easy to use. It's just a little painful to get it set up. So those are the funding options, and I probably need to do some more videos on those. So Cash App is the quickest and the easiest if you have access to that. Then there's Instacoin, and then there's VLoad. And even if you are brand new and you're in your demo account, there's no reason why you can't set up your live account as you practice. Just because you set it up, it doesn't mean you have to use it right away. and you're not penalized for letting it sit there. So yeah, especially if you know you don't have access to Cash App, you may want to start VLOAD so that it's not as painful. Just kind of do it, when you're not really thinking about it. All right. Hopefully I answered your question. With Hugo's Way, yeah, they want you to fund it before you actually take that last step to create the actual account. So that's why I was talking about the funding, because that's like a prerequisite. All right. Who's next?
Thanks, Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there someone else who had a question?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure.
I am not hearing you well. Try it again. Or type your question in the chat if you're having audio trouble. Oh, and there was one question in the chat from Ernest. So if you started out, like, let's say that Bitcoin trade that was a 0.03, no, you're not allowed to increase it, but you can, if you were closing it, you would have the options of 0.01 or 0.02 or close the whole thing at 0.03. So yeah, that's why the demo account is so important to practice, because stop loss and take profit, you can modify those all day long. Lot size, you are stuck with it once that order goes live. So I trade with multiple accounts, and Hugo's Way likes to do you a favor and remember the lot size that you used before. So as a rule of thumb, before you press the buy or sell, always double check your lot size, because if you press the wrong lot size by mistake, you're going to be forced to keep it. There's no way to undo it. Whereas stop loss and take profit, you can modify as many times as you like. Any other questions?
Tasha, one more question for me here.
Sure.
There are times when I lock into what I consider to be a good-looking trade, but then it's overnight, and I fall asleep, and by the time I get up in the morning, the trade has bombed out on stop loss, so I have lost.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have 3-4 trades backed up on the same twinning of currencies. Is there any guidance you can give to mitigate against that kind of loss?
So were you in profit at all before you fell asleep?
Yes, looking good before, but then it went berserk while I'm asleep.
Yeah. So are you in live or demo?
In demo.
In demo. Okay. That would be a great chance to practice taking partial profit before you fell asleep. So let's say you're doing the $1,000 account and you're using a 0.1 lot size. Let's say you're $100 in the blue, but it's midnight, and you're do you typically go for TP1 or 2 or 3?
1, 2, or 3.
Okay, yeah, so it varies. So I would strongly suggest for you to secure partial profits as the night gets late. That way you're not risking as much during the middle of the night when you're asleep. So, worst case, even if you there's two things you can do. One, you can do partial profits. But secondly, and let me go back to TradingView, because I think this will really help you. So let's say, and I'll let my screen catch up. Okay, so let's say I'm in a buy. So let me delete that cell. Let's say I'm in a buy and I enter, let's make this realistic. Let's say I enter here. here is my stop loss, and my take profit is up here. So let's say that an hour or two pass and price is all the way up here. So now it's midnight and I'm about to go to sleep. What do I need to do to secure my profits? I need to take my stop loss and move it. Now, no matter what price does, I have secured, I can't lose this trade. This is called the break-even point. So if you don't want to close the trade with all the profit that you made and you don't want to take partial profits, then at least move your stop loss price to your entry price so that at least you can't lose it. So no matter what happens in the morning, you'll either be at break even or you would have hit TP.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. So for the people in the chat, if you're lost, welcome, welcome, welcome. Forex is like a great big elephant. Don't worry, take the pressure off. This is a lot of new information. You definitely want to start off in your back office. So in your back office under Client and Trade Academy, go over the Forex introduction. It will talk about what is a pip and it will explain all of those basic concepts. But don't worry, keep coming back. We'll help you get it figured out. But yeah, you're less than a week old, so it's perfectly normal to feel overwhelmed and like we're talking a different language. That's perfectly normal. All right, everyone. Well, it is 7:56. And so for the other person, yeah, the definition of a pip, definitely start in your back office and go over all of those introductory concepts. It'll make this go a lot smoother. But I will get this recorded and uploaded to my YouTube site. Remember how to get plugged into Derek's class. Is there anyone who is unable to get into their back office who needs the link to Derek's class? Put a 10 in the chat if you need that link, and I can post that before we leave.
Tasha, I had one last question.
Sure.
What happens when you try to enter a trade, a pair, and you type it in because it's not on the list and it still doesn't show up, and yet that was a trade alert?
Every now and then there could be a pair that your broker does not carry.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can't find it, definitely email them and say, hey, you can, sometimes you can Google it. But what pair was it that you couldn't find?
I think it was GBP NZD, something like that, yeah.
And are you with Hugo's Way?
Yes.
Okay, let me check that right away. Opening up MT4.
But, oh, you know, I did find it eventually. Now that you mentioned, I did find it eventually. But then when you were doing a training tonight, I tried to find one and I couldn't find it in Hugo's Way.
Yeah.
But you answered the question. I mean, some brokers don't carry that pair.
Yeah.
I usually lose bad on GBP, man. I mean,
I
every
don't
time
like
I do that pair, I lose bad with it.
And you know why that is? GBP pairs are notorious for huge pullbacks. So a lot of times you'll just get stopped out. It'll just hit your stop loss. It's still going the right way, but it's going to dip down so far that it takes everyone out of the trade. I don't like GBP pairs for that same reason. All right. So, okay, there are a few people that need Derek's link. So give me 1 second. I will look for that.
As you're doing it as a follow-up, do you recommend having more than one broker for that very reason? You're trying to get a trade, they don't carry it, It's too late to call them.
Yeah, that's why I like Hugo's way, because I can trade indices and I can trade crypto. That's one advantage that Hugo's way has over some of the other brokers.
Okay.
Yep. So let me see if I can find Derek's link.
While you're looking for that, Tasha, I know you're coming to the close. Just want to thank you again for a wonderful class as usual. We really appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, no problem. I love teaching it. I teach algebra as well as I work in IT, and so I kind of gravitate to the tougher concepts. But yeah, I enjoy just breaking it down and explaining it in a way that you can get it. So you are very welcome. Let's see, maybe I can search for it.
So basically, Derek's live training is getting ready to start now. That's what you're trying to find for us?
It is. It is. Yep. Sometimes he posts that Zoom link for those that need it.
I love you, Tasha. You're doing well.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you guys have any other questions in between class, feel free to hit me up on Telegram. Sometimes, Telegram is weird and you can't find me, then you can look for me on Facebook Messenger. Any other questions while I'm looking for this link? It may be easier. Let me stop sharing and I can find it here.
Tasha?
Yes.
If it'll help, I have the ID number. I think this is it for his call. Unless you just wanted the whole link.
Yeah, I think I have the whole link. 1 second. Finally. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Starts with 827, right?
Yep. So I found it. So let me see. Hopefully it'll let me share it in the chat. Yeah, there we go. Finally. So yeah, you can look me up in Telegram by my name. If you can't find me there, you can use Messenger. All right, everyone. So if we are good to leave, well, I don't want to put numbers in the chat because those of you who need the link won't be able to find it. So, all right, hopefully everyone had a chance to copy that. So I'm going to head on over to Derek's class. So I'll talk to you all on Thursday. See you then.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.